We live? If we're not live, there's a problem. People deluded, I'm back again. Good morning. I hope you're all doing well and safe. Please make sure you're hitting the like button. While it's a good morning sort of affair to my people them in the UK, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and of course, good night, depending on where you are and whatever the time zone is. As I said, please make sure you're hitting the like button. Please make sure you're checking out the pin message, because while this video wasn't actually planned, people, I didn't plan to be here this morning. I'll actually have a Champions League watch along. I mean, I know Arsenal are a million years away from being qualified for the Champions League, much less being in the final again. But, you know, we all love football. So if you're knocking about, I'm going live from 7:30. Big up everybody that's here. Obviously, the season might be done, but there's transfers to speak about, and BS Rumor 101 is here, people. You know, Mahrez on this side, Sterling on the other side, people. You know, I wouldn't mind the gaffer coming into the middle of me as well, but you know, I'm pretty sure many people would be humbled just to have one Mahrez or one Sterling, much less both of them. We all know it's BS. I'm going to get into it in a bit. We all know it's nonsense. We all know it's BS. But we can dream, people. We can dream. Obviously, whether these lot are put up for sale by Manchester City is another story, because I know Sterling has his contract thing. There's an emergence now, or even more emergence of Foden. There's talk of Grealish, Kane's there. There's only so many attackers. Mahrez, all season you've heard he wants to leave, he wants to stay, he wants to go. Sometimes I feel it's been a bit unfair for Mahrez not to start, but somebody's always got to be left out with them teams there. And maybe Mahrez needs to, he's been linked with PSG. I mean, going and linking Mbappe and Neymar, and that would be amazing. But maybe he wants to try another country. Maybe he wants to return to France. Maybe both players just want to go somewhere else. For me, you know, if either player is going to leave, you're going to the big boy clubs, the top European clubs, you know, the typical Real Madrid's, Barca, Juventus, Bayern Munich, all of these things. Like if I'm Raheem Sterling, I'm definitely trying to do up abroad, you know, just speak to Jude and Sanjo and see what it's like. And to be fair with you, again, I just want to say this before I forget, Raheem Sterling, did he not mention getting out of London? Now, obviously, he left at London as a boy and he's come back as a man, a family man and that. But he mentions all the time with London, the distractions, and not necessarily friends, but it's like you get the vibe that he wants to be outside his comfort zone. Like London's got nothing for him, bar obviously his family and that. So when I've heard us linked with him all those times and I've heard that, what's going to change now? Yeah, these men are great players. They're leaders. They're all of these things. But you know, as we know, we can't sign either player anyways, but either player signing, while I'd be happy, they're not going to change it all on their own, people. They need, you know, at City, they're quality players, but they're surrounded by winners, if not necessarily through ability, through how they handle themselves and all the coaching staff and things. So I would love these players, but I can't see it happening. You know, we've been chasing Raheem Sterling probably since the age of like 9 years old, like I'm sure of all the London clubs have. Obviously, when he was at QPR and went to Liverpool, we tried to buy him. We all remember the Theo Walcott rumours and things like that, swap deal. We tried many times, maybe third time lucky. For Mahrez, you know, obviously we should have been getting man when he was playing in second division and all these things. Apparently we wanted him when he was at Leicester. Wenger did all he could and Glazides fucked it up, pardon my language. So I can't see it happening, people, but we'd all love it, innit? Could you imagine Mahrez and Sterling on either wing? You know, imagine Kieran Tierney and Sterling on that left hand side and Mahrez on that right. Could you imagine the options of Pepe, Saka, Mahrez, or just somehow fitting everybody in? That's all it can stay at. It's a FIFA thing. It's a football manager dream. It's a FPL dream. We're not signing either player. I would love it. You know, I think both are maybe indirectly up for sale, but, you know, since Sterling's been in and out the team and, you know, there's a contract stuff, Mahrez the same. But I think someone's just been a bit creative and said, you know what, let's link them with Arsenal. Again, last time I checked, I think we're over a month late for April Fool's jokes, but fair play, fair play. Like I said, whoever wrote that article was smoking on the sweetest of herbs, bro, because it's not making sense. Like, you know, Arsenal are struggling. Well, we're sitting here saying, can we put 35, 40 million together for Buendia and 30, 20, 30 odd for Odegaard? Bro, you can't bring 50 plus million for Mahrez. And I'm trying to be conservative. We all know it's way more than 50 million. We all know the same with Raheem Sterling too. And as much as I think I wouldn't describe them coming to Arsenal as luxury players, because they're difference makers and we need them. They're luxury players because the spine of the team. We don't know who's centre half. We don't know who's right back, you know. couple centre mids are needed. You know, we need to look after the foundations. These men are PS5s and that. You know, you can't have a PS5 in your yard if your electrician, if the electrics is shaky in it. The house is either going to blow up or never turn on. So the foundations, I would love both of them, but it's crazy. We don't need wingers, but we do always need better players. And Mahrez and Sterling are exactly that, and they'd make the difference. I'm pretty sure you wouldn't turn up your nose to either if it did happen. But as we know, it's all BS. I'm going to get into what the article has said in a sec, people, but I've been airing you lot. I want to see what you lot have to say. DG, my guy, this can't possibly be true because this makes no sense to me. Otis, bro, it makes no sense to all of us. So it's nonsense, man. Big up the Minnesota crew. Like Bruce Wayne said, it's just ridiculously stupid, man. As unrealistic as they come, 100%. But we all know it's nonsense, isn't it? We can humor ourselves, in it, people, really and truly. Exactly. It's that accountant's time of the year. And obviously, this follow, you know, as we've said, when you're linked with, you know, when you've got season tickets and them things up for renewal, we're linked with not just these players. How many unrealistic players have we been linked with? If we haven't been linked with names, we've heard war chess and bullish talk and all this and that. It's that time of the year, man. You know, Raheem Sterling, bro, we're not grabbing Raheem Sterling. Mahrez, we're probably grabbing that Leicester winger and things like that. Bare counterfeit additions of these players, man. You know, I would love Mahrez. He's a wonderful player on the left, on the right, through the middle, skillers, all of that stuff. Sterling the same, you know, London boy as well, Northwest and that. So you get it, but it's a myth, man. You know, it's a myth. Let's just all laugh, bro. Taz, you're right. Laugh it up, that guy. Some nonsense, man, bro. And for me, it would be, you'd have to question both of them. For, you know, if this was to happen, I'd have to question both of their mentalities. Because yeah, you could say I wanted a challenger, Arteta, this and that, but there's going to be no expectation like that. You know, a big reason as to why Raheem Sterling and Mahrez are doing dirt is because Pep's always pushing them and they're of the mindset pushing themselves. You come to Arsenal, you know, you subconsciously, you start becoming a part of this. You start becoming complacent. You start not pushing yourself. You start being mediocre. So if you lot are coming for a payday, an easy ride, you know, the London aspect and a million things there are to do in London, then it is what it is. But like Jay has said, absolutely no chance. And this comment from Jets once again has to be brought up. It's an ultimate downgrade, bro. Ultimate downgrade. You can't go from Champions League finalist to, you know, you're not even in Europe. It's a madness. It's a madness. If Raheem Sterling's on Bants, he might as well go back to QPR if he's on Bants, really. You know, Mahrez is better off going Leicester than Arsenal, really and truly. Like it's nonsense, man. But we can dream. But unless you got, you know, Football Manager, FIFA, career mode, all of these sort of things, it's a myth, man. Like I would love these guys, but it's silly. A man said I don't want Sterling. Bro, you can't say that when you got our wingers, but I hear you, man. Sterling's bringing goals, he's bringing movement, he's bringing consistency. Say what you want, he would be a massive upgrade, but it's not happening, man. Mahrez on our right-hand side would be elite, but exactly, it's defo made up. Mo, I would love it to be an Arteta masterclass. It wouldn't surprise me if Arteta's hollering them and adding them to WhatsApp group chats and they're all blocking his number, telling him they got a new phone and that. It wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me. You know, we probably couldn't even get a couple of their under 23 players, you know. It's all fun and games having your old contacts, but you need the cash and things. But we're not grabbing these players, innit, people? There's 126 of you locked in. Please make sure you're hitting the like button. Obviously, let's look at the report, people, for what it's worth. Obviously, once again, Champions League live watch along. So make sure you're there and whatnot, people. Let me just shamelessly plug that. Link's been dropped in the live chat and things like that. So yeah, make sure you're all there. Let's go for what the article I saw, people. In fact, better yet, because it originally came out at the Daily Mail. Let me try and find the Raheem Sterling one from the Daily Mail, people. Yeah, man. I don't really like using them backup articles and everyone relaying it, but Sammy Moat Bell has said this, that Raheem Sterling and Riyad Mahrez are on Manchester City's for sale list. And for me, the only thing that could be, sorry, people, I know I said I'm going to go over it, but I had a couple of notes just to humor you guys. Obviously, we've wanted Mahrez since his Leicester days, maybe possibly before. We've wanted Raheem Sterling, as I said, about 3 times since I've seen he's turned the age of 16. He's previously said he don't want to return to London because of the off-field business. Now, obviously, his life has changed dramatically and he's gone older. But again, if you don't want to be in London, last time I checked, Arsenal isn't in Arsenal, you know, it isn't in Siberia, it's in London. And again, why would 2 proven winners come here? You've been doing your bits at Leicester. Why would you want to come here? Raheem Sterling, you've done what you've wanted to do, but you're linked with Real Madrid and them thing there. And, you know, I will take you at Arsenal because you're a great player and you're a good marketable player, but it does not make sense. Why would you want to spend your prime years here, especially after winning another Premier League? and being in the Champions League final. Why would you want to spend your prime years with Willian? With guys that one game, you know, they look like they're certified, then they're not. You wouldn't. It would drive you crazy. The only reason I do think maybe they're up for sale just by looking at Manchester City, but both of them surely top clubs will be circling. Now, we know what maybe goes against them is that if you're one of those top clubs right about now, you're probably indirectly trying to hear what's going on with Mbappe, what's going on with Haaland, potentially Harry Kane. On that topic, you know, they're linked with Harry Kane and Grealish. Could it be a case of Pep likes to play everybody. I have bare attackers on the best of days, but, you know, is there, I'm not saying there isn't, but is there space for Harry Kane, Grealish that they've been linked with, Foden, Sterling, Gab Jesus, Mahrez, Bernardo? I'm probably missing out about 25 other players in it. That's about 7 men fighting for 2 positions. So again, it could be a case of 2 out, 2 in, really and truly. You know, Grealish can play off that left. Kane's obviously not just in terms of being an attacker, but he's a striker, as you know. So it doesn't make sense at all for me anyways. But going back to the article, people, no, I don't want any notifications. Bad man don't need that. What an elite smoothie. I'm the best smoothie maker. Deluded smoothie soon land. But as I was saying, Raheem Sterling and Riyad Mahrez are on Manchester City's for sale list this summer, with champions planning to refine their squad, and Arsenal are interested in both wingers. Arsenal can be interested in everything. I'm interested in buying a Ferrari. Don't mean I can buy one. I physically haven't got the money in my bank account. That's what it feels like. It feels like when you go shopping with your mum and your mum says you can, you know, your mum might say you can look at the magazines in the shop, you can look at it as much as you want, but you're not buying a damn thing. You're not getting it. That's the sort of thing, that's the vibe I get here. Like I said, I'd like a Ferrari. Don't mean I can go down Oxford Circus and go there and cop one. If there actually is a Ferrari store in Oxford Circus, which shows I don't know what I'm talking about. But Raheem Sterling heads a list of players Manchester City are prepared to offload this summer as Pep Guardiola plots a fresh era of dominance. The Premier League champions are planning to refine their squad during the transfer window, regardless of the outcome of Saturday's Champions League final in Porto. Raheem Sterling lost his place in Pep Guardiola's starting lineup towards the end of last season, and Sportsmails understand City would be willing to listen to offers for the 26-year-old, someone who's seen as a captain at times there, and he's been there for a minute and whatnot. Maybe that's where the rumours are coming with. As you lot know, it happened with Chelsea. The minute Mason Mount was on the bench for Thomas Tuchel, he needs to leave. This guy needs to leave. That guy needs to leave. So, again, this could all be a lot of nonsense. If you're Sterling, why do you want to leave? Maybe you want to try something new, but where do you want to leave? And for me, if I'm these, man, regardless of my ability, bro, why would you want to go to Arsenal? Maybe people could say it's a brave step. It's, you know, I'm going to be a leader. There's a rebuild. That's dead, man. That's dead. Because you're going to, you know... They're not winners, and winners doesn't always mean winning trophies. Winners means to being the best you can be in your life or your discipline. You know, it doesn't matter if you're, with no disrespect to anyone's jobs, if you're a binman, if you're a city worker, you know, if you just hand leaflets, you're trying to be the best you can be, waking up with a goal in mind, going to sleep focused as well. You don't get that vibe from these Arsenal players. So as we already know that this is nonsense, but it wouldn't make any sense, people. Apparently he's not the only man who could leave in coming months, with Riyad Mahrez also among those who could be sacrificed. I mean, it's hardly like Raheem Sterling and Mahrez are going to be cheap. And apparently City would consider moving if the deal was right. Exactly. So again, these players are not leaving unless the money's right. Others in the squad who are vulnerable are strikers Gab Jesus and centre back Laporte. I think that's quite disrespectful. Laporte. I know Ruben Dias has come. He's been amazing. You know, Stones. Every minute Stones looks like he's done at City, and then he starts doing his thing. It's a squad game, and I think they recognize that. Out of all the names that I've heard so far, I'd say for me anyways, as an outsider, surely Gab Jesus is the one that's the most vulnerable, because there's, you know, for the last couple of years now, Sergio Aguero's not been playing consistently like that, and it's not been a Gab Jesus thing. You know, times he's been on the bench, they've started with no strikers. So I think Gab Jesus is a vulnerable, what's the word? He's a valued member of the team, but I think he's the most for them people. I wouldn't sell Laporte. You know, suddenly, as we've seen, you get an injury to Dias or Stones, and Laporte is there. Who else is there? Eric Garcia is busting out to Barca. I don't know if they've got any other plans to do anything, but it is what it is. Arsenal are understood to have an interest in Sterling and Mahrez. Everyone in the league would be interested, from promoted sides to, you know, Liverpool and whatnot. Everyone would be interested in these players. But interest doesn't mean you can do it. Arteta, we know Arteta has worked with them and things like that, but we've got no real financial muscle, and we're not going to get an injection from the Cronkies. We've got no European football, and we don't have an ambition collectively as a club. So what project would you sell to these players, even if you could? It's all nonsense, isn't it, people? Apparently, Barca and Real Madrid have a long interest in Sterling. Now, both of them teams need a bit of a rebuild, so maybe Sterling's an option, people. And City apparently would need funds to complete their own signings. Big fan of City acting like they need to sell before they can buy. I know FFP might be an issue, but a lot of you tell me FFP laws are relaxed. Big fan of City acting like they need to sell before they can buy. Jack Grealish would be a fantastic signing, man. Imagine. I'm jealous of City, bro. You can't have Foden and Grealish, just one of them. It's a bit like Mahrez and Sterling and Kevin and Gundogan. Like, bro, just to have one of those players, I would cherish it. Them man there got all of them players, and there's probably next ones coming into the club. And when you look at signings like Jorginho, Fred, and Alexis, they dodge bullets. Like City have dodged some serious bullets, like with Jorginho, Fred, and Alexis. Maybe it all would have worked out. But again, for me, if I was a City fan or looking at the City squad, Kane and Grealish in, Sterling and Mahrez out, I might want to keep them, but it is what it is. You could do a lot worse, people. I think people need to understand it's a squad game. And for me, Jack Grealish coming in doesn't mean a threat to Mahrez and Sterling. I know he plays everywhere. Jack Grealish could play he could play in a midfield three as one of the midfield three, can play or the pivot, play in the 10, play off the left, probably even play off the right. Like, the man's a baller. Probably even play as a false nine in their system, really and truly. And Grealish for me would be even better playing with all due respect to Villa. He does his thing and he plays well with those players. But you see, when you're a baller and you play with other ballers, it's only going to get madder and madder and madder. So I'm keen to see that. It's like Harry Kane, bro. Harry Kane, you're actually going to have all of these goals. They're going to mean something really and truly. So that would be a good sign. And then with Foden, you've basically got the spine of the English team. You might as well just bring Declan Rice in for no reason. But it looks like nonsense. If they do want to raise funds, I would love to bring in Mahrez and Sterling, and I would hold my hands up if Arsenal ever did it and was wrong. But it's not going to happen. It's almost impossible. And it is impossible. And Arsenal don't strike me as a club right now with the ambition to do the impossible. And on top of that, well, we need to, like I said, we need to make sure there's a decent lick of paint in the wall on our walls before we talk about these luxury signings and things. So it's all was, it's all nonsense, it's all BS. But a man can dream, a man and woman, any Arsenal fans, man, woman, child, old, young. If you want to dream, innit? But I think that's where it stops. But fair play if that's what you're on, people. Please make sure you're hitting the like button. That's that in relation to Raheem Sterling. As you lot can see here, people, I was reading The Athletic today and there were comments in relation to Arsenal's transfer target. So I'm going to get involved on that one in a minute, but I want to see what you guys are saying. Please make sure you're hitting the like button, as my guy Glody has reminded you lot, people. Bro, I don't know where it came from. I respect it. Journalists have to get paid. People got bills to pay. So someone's just woke up and said, F it. Let me get some bills today. Let me what? They want to, City have to rebuild this and that. Arteta was their former manager. Let me remix. How much City players have been linked with off the back of that? Raheem Sterling's and Mahrez now. He was getting Eric Garcia. I remember the Stones rumors. I'm pretty sure some fans can throw in a lot of other things in that regards, man. In that relation, man. Big up the members. Them Steven said it's 5:30 a.m. here in America. These links with Mahrez and Sterling make zero sense, to be honest. And I think everyone can see that, man. Everyone can see that. Broski, you gotta laugh, bro. You gotta laugh, man. If we don't laugh, we're gonna cry, man. It's a joke, man. But that's where it can end, man. I would love to, it's a badness, bro. We're linked with hella guys. We might just win the league. I know a lot of you were saying no Europe, it means we can win the league. If we bring in Mahrez and them man there, it can, but it's all worse, man. I don't think I need to keep repeating that it's all worse, man. It's absolutely all BS, man. Thomas said, big up DG. Why every summer do we get linked like this? It's they want us to press. We got to sell so much before we even consider buying. We're dead out here, fam. Sad, man. Sad. Barca and Real Madrid are broke as well. They're broke and our broke is different. Them man there can manipulate stuff, man. I mean, J-man, we've all said it's worse. Calm down, my guy, man. Calm down, my guy. Calm down. We all know it's worse, but we've not got anything else to speak about. You don't need to, calm down. If you're stressed out, please, brother, please open up another tab. I'm sure Pereira Ray, Sarah J, them people there will be nicer for you, because we need to calm down. Don't shoot the messenger. I didn't stand up and make it. You're saying, why did we have a conversation about such? But you're here commenting. I know football isn't logical, but let's be serious. If you don't want to hear it, turn it off, my guy. I'm sure your girlfriend would like to spend time with you today, man. It's a nice day. It's back holiday weekend, my dude, man. It's a madness. Relax, brother. Relax, my guy, man. Cronke said exceptional summer, but nah, this ain't it, bro. Exceptional summer, broski. At this rate, you lot saw my goal. They'll probably sign me in that and tell you, lot, I'm a big boy signing in that. It's all mad, man. What else are you lot saying, man? Exactly, bro. These men have won the Prem twice. Why are we always buying players over 30 years old? There's nothing wrong with buying players 30 years old. It's just the sort of players you go for. Like when you see Thiago Silva, I know they didn't buy him when he was 30, but they did buy him quite late. Fernandinho, you know, and look at what he's doing now. The mentality is different. We buy guys that were never good like that, anyways, and then we just looked at them to make a difference. So it is what it is, man. Big up my brother DG. Do you reckon City are gonna cook us tonight or nah, bro? Personally, I hope so, but I have a funny feeling Chelsea are gonna win, man. I just think Thomas Tuchel knows how to play against Pep. But on the same topic of that, you know, Pep, I don't care what no one says, he's doing great. You was brought there to win the Champions League, and you've never been closer to doing such. You know, do you know much? I won't say they'll still call him a checkbook manager unfairly. Well, he does spend a lot of money, so it's not really unfair, but we know he's a great gaffer. You know, you've got a chance to kill off a lot of these things. You can't do it without Messi. You can't do this, you can't do that. And for me, I know he's got 100 points. I know he's done bare stuff for City. I know he's in the same way Ferguson, Wenger, Jose, all of these Klopp at now. You know, they've all changed the game in their own little way in England and abroad. I think he's done all of these things, but the Champions League was the one. That's the dream for the owners. So he's never been closer. So I'm expecting to see him not overcomplicate things. But I just think Thomas Tuchel has his number, especially how you lot defend off the ball, like in the FA Cup and in the game at the Etihad, man. At this point, DG, at this point, they're just using us to move players. Probably. We're not even being used for that. We're just paying someone's bills. We're just talking about it because someone's paying someone's bills. Someone's just making up lies and that, man. Bro, you did, and it's all worse. We can't sign him if you're talking about the guy in the French squad because he's gone to AC Milan, James, as we've known for a while, man. DG is a 10. I love you. I would love it, but I would love to be 10, but I'm a right back. Right now, I've been cursed by my versatility. I'm still playing left back, you know, for wrongins. You know, it hasn't escaped me from my last team. You know, I'm on this Maitland-Niles team, so I don't personally mind doing it for the team, but would be nice to play on the right-hand side. But saying that, when you see the goals that I scored, it's a madness. There's 224 of you, but there's only 89 likes. Come on, people, pattern that up, man. When we get to 100 likes, I'll show you, man, my goal that I scored. Absolute peach of a goal. If I can find it, like, where is it? Wait, let me actually try find that for you, man. Let me actually get that up here. Video clips. So I know I'll pull it on my Instagram, but I promise to show you lot in my next live. MP4. Man, when it gets to 100 likes, man, I'll show you the goal, people. If it uploads. Is it uploading? You gonna upload for man, or you gonna make my life difficult? Cool. Let's see what happens in that regards, man. Man said that wasn't me. Come on, bro. You see why you shouldn't cap Tino. All this, DG this, DG that, DG this, DG that. Shut it. 2-2. Raheem Sterling defo doesn't suck, man. And even if he does, like, he's a significant upgrade. Bro, it must be pound sterling or something. It can't be Raheem. Like, it can't be Raheem. Must be a next Mahrez out there as well, man. Big up the Free in Midfield podcast people. Go show them some love. Open up another tab and go support them. My guy Kojo and Cahill and the rest of them. They make good content. Sad that they don't know good clubs because I know one of them's a Man United fan. Kojo, I got to do it, man, you know. You're one of the good United fans. So I don't like to troll you too tough. Donnarumma's leaving for free. I think he's going Juventus personally. I don't think Arsenal have a snowballs. But we can try, man. We can try. 2-2, you sure you're right back? Bro, clearly I'm a right back that doesn't defend it. It is what it is in that regards, man. The Champions League thumbnail looks quite good. You know, all I did is edit a Google image. I'd love to claim credit, but it is what it is, man. It is what it is. But has the goal uploaded? Has it uploaded? Yeah, it has. All right, one sec, people. Let's get into this. The Lengers. I don't know about these other YouTubers, but I do my job.
Against this right back, Charlie.
Let's reload that.
Against this right back, Charlie.
DG. Okay, good team, man. But this was a lovely moment still. Yeah. That's how we're rocking. Hey. Hey. Look at my man said birds, right? This is why I don't take verbal from young youths, you know. If you look at, listen, some of you give all this talk about football, but then you look at our ball like a virgin looking at a condom for the first time. You don't slap it off like that. First time, fuck a first touch. Obviously, all the times of hitting the crossbar finally paying off, people. They're finally paying off, man. I love it, man. It's all banter, it's all entertainment. Shout out to Oakwood, like I said, they're a good team, man. It was a good game to be part of. They got LSME pro ballers, good togetherness. Manager knows his thing. All in all, you know, they try rattle and that. It's a good game of football. Reminded me why I started playing football, man. Man said right back. I'm playing left back there, my guy. But yeah, bro, Martial could never, bro. Aubameyang, I ain't seen Aubameyang do the mad thing this season. Vernam on you. What? I've got 2 goals this season. That's 2 goals. Wait, 3 goals technically if you count my old club, and about 5-6 assists. That's better than William. So I must come bag a little job. Bellerin, where you on? I must come bag a little Arsenal something, man. Little 20 minutes. I'm on the LNA thing. I'm cool sitting on the bench and that, man. I'm cool with that. What a hit, son. Gerrard. And that's all that was going through my head is these men are trying to close me down. Let me bang it. It's unfortunate that we couldn't go through in that semis, but that's what he needed. Energy, man. I can't lie, bro. I heard a couple man screaming when I scored. It was gassing me. I should have started knee sliding and that, man. But that's what I come with every now and again, man. Bro, 100%. Bellerin and Jeggings, I'm better than. I can't lie. If I get fit, I'm better than them. There's some footballers I look at. But hey, bear man are saying that about Partey, you know. Would you take Fernandinho? Yeah, they're the sort of pensioners you should be. We should be signing. They're the sort of guys, man. Shouldn't be grabbing the other ones. You know, hey, England call up. I don't mind that. I don't mind the young England call up. What number did you have on? I prefer number 13, but I had 4 5 on. So, you know, you wear Lengman numbers. You got to leng it off, innit? Second choice to TD. Hey, shout out TD, man. Come on, David. I'm trying to think, man. You know? Well, I'm good for them sort of things every 10 years. Once every 10 years, we do one of them ones, man. Oh, man. By God's grace, Partey does that next season. But yeah, man, that's that in relation to Raheem Sterling and Mahrez. Hit the like button, people. You know, come on. That goal deserves at least 200 likes or so. 130 likes, man. Come, let's push towards 200, man. Let's push towards 200. Oh my, it's a shame we lost, but we lost because of 5 margins. We made small mistakes. They're a good team. Like I said, I enjoy playing games like that because their team there, I was in some mad battles at fullback. It's like Tierney versus Salah. Like, shout out to them because we had a laugh and a joke. Sometimes the wing is getting past, man. Sometimes he's not. They had some bad boy midfielders, I can't lie, where they just give it to a man will just clip it into that space in behind, and then it gets a bit mad. And it's always good playing in games like that, man. I think we gave as good as we got. It was a very good game, man. You know, between Oakwood and Wrongans, and you know, Wrongans. I think we're doing good, man, considering, you know, we ain't been together as long as other teams, you know, ain't got the resources like other teams. We ain't got bare stuff like other teams. We're holding our own, man. You know, promotion, we're looking like we're going to get promoted to the Premier Division. That's where I'm trying to do up my fitness because I'm not trying to play against rising ballers, Oakwood again, all of these guys and being recorded and not fit and looking like a joke, man. It comes down to pride. That's why I kind of move serious in games like that. Don't get twisted. I love playing against shit, man, though, because you can duppy, man, and all of that. That's kind of what was getting at my last team, man. I just showed it to you. I just showed it, my guy, but go on my Instagram. In fact, you know what? It's a good goal. Let's reload it one more time. This is the last time I'm going to show it before we get into the athletic business.
Against this right back, Charlie.
Yo, decent. A man said, sure, body. Tino, you're my guy, but why are you looking at next man's body, bro? You're looking at more than the women, bro. You're moving a bit fruity still. If that's what you need to do, is calm. Trust me, the screaming gassed me. And the let's go. Let's go. It's a shame, man, but I love the footy thing, man. But I'm going to have to show you lot a next vid, though. Yeah, people. Links in the description and the live chat in relation to the advert you just saw, man. It's all calm. You lot are gassing me. You lot make me want to be a footballer and shit, man. Is this how the ballers feel when they put the skillers up on Instagram, man? Can you send the link to the live Champions League watch along? Of course I can, my guy. Where is it? There it is. A man said Roberto Carlos. I'd love to be mentioned. A man said those headphones won't fit soon. Buy me some new ones there, Peter. Taking every opportunity. You gotta be shameless, bro. A fullback. I bought a raffle ticket. It's like being in the X Factor final and being them guys that are not favorites. You gotta buy it. It's a N'Golo Kante thing. When you're in them situations there, you just gotta bang it in it. That was all my thought. It's like, you know, I'm never gonna be here again, innit? Let me just wallop this. Let me just bang this, man. Hey, man, Richard, I appreciate this, man. I love you lot support, man. I love you lot support. But yeah, man, let's crack on a bit. Let's be a bit serious now. Obviously, shout out to everyone showing love and that. Wrapped it, bro. Scoring goals like Gelly were coming to watch, man, and that is a madness. But moving away from all of that, though, let me set a timestamp up for those that aren't live right now with us. And yeah, man, let's get into the other the athletic stuff, people. Come on, man. Bro, these other YouTubers just chat shit. This is what I keep saying to you. You give half of these YouTubers a football, they'll look at it mad. If all these YouTubers played football together, you would see who's shit and whose opinions to take seriously, bro. Because I can't lie to you. If you can't play football, your opinion's only so good. I can't lie. I'm not saying you need to be good, amazing, but if you can't lace a ball, it's dead, man. I knew as I left that boot, broski, as soon as it left my boot. You know, it's a bit mad how psychological football is, because I actually thought I took a touch and I've scored 2 in 2 weeks now. And it's like in the moment, you know, I'm not thinking too much about it. It's like the last goal I scored, I was in the box. I touched it with my left, kind of like Pepe's goal where he controlled it with his left and smashed it with his right, kind of like that, but not the same. It's like you just think about it in seconds. A man said Sterling is rubbish. He needs to stay far away from Arsenal. He needs to stay far away from Arsenal for his own good. But to call Sterling rubbish, you know you're capping. You don't believe that. He might not be your cup of tea, but he's not rubbish. Don't cap, man. It's not good to lie, bro. It's not good. But anyways, people, the Athletic have given their opinion in relation to potential transfer targets or whatever. But apparently, Arsenal entered the transfer window with a considerable to-do list. The club are interested in goalkeepers, defenders across every position, plus centre mids and number 10s. And number 10, so everybody basically, innit? In a transfer window that also contains 3 international tournaments, Copa America, Euros, Olympics. Am I missing one else out, people? Forgive me if I'm missing one out. But yeah, listen, bro, Sterling's a quality player. He's never coming here, but it's cap. Shout out to Uncle Yaya. But as I was saying, it looks like we're trying to buy every position, which we probably need to. Edu and Mikel Arteta submitted their transfer plans to the board some weeks before the season ended, and work is already underway. Okay, cool. So that might give us some confidence, but again, it's in the Athletic. We all know the club filter things through, so it is what it is. Chase, no, in relation to you're right. The AFCON is going to come next season, but it said here in a transfer market that contains 3 tournaments, international tournaments, and I know the Copa America and the Euros. I'm pretty sure there's the Olympics. There might be a next one, but I'm a bit ignorant if there is a next one. So you're right, but wrong in that regards, Chase. But moving on, you know, that gives us confidence. If you hear Edu and Arteta weeks ago have planned, as I said, we shouldn't be waking up and saying, who are we signing? Obviously, some situations arrive that you didn't count for and you can take advantage. Some things happen. but the bulk of our business should have been planned weeks and months ago. So if I've heard Edu and Mikel have submitted their plans, then again, I'm ultimately going to place the blame with them. But if it doesn't get done, then it's what we know, in that the people above them are crippling this club moving forward. So hopefully these signings get done, these things get done. I say hope. I don't know if that will be the case. Martin Odegaard, who spent the second half of the season on loan from Real Madrid, is the club's #1 target. Arsenal pursued a creative midfielder throughout last summer's window, but ultimately were not able to complete a deal. It's not good enough because Partey and that creative man, that new pivot should have been injected there off the back of an FA Cup win, where all the things we're doing now, or you're hearing now, and other live streams, we should have been doing that last summer, but we're here, innit? Although Odegaard's loan was interrupted by an ankle injury, he made a big impression in North London, not just on his account of technical ability, but also his character and leadership credentials. All right. In the summer, when several experienced players could be leaving the club, the addition of an international captain holds an obvious appeal. Okay, cool. You lose Xhaka, you might keep Odegaard. I like Odegaard, and I think he's going to be a quality player, but I don't think it's the end of the world if you don't confirm the signing. And I'm actually one that's in the camp of his. I really want Odegaard to stay. I'm prepared to overspend a bit and spend 40 million on him. I know the statistics aren't kind. I know the good games ain't come, but there's something that tells me he will come good for Arsenal Football Club. And at 22, you will make that cash back. So, yeah, man, whether that happens is the next thing. The situation, however, is not in Arsenal's hands. As we know, Zidane has left the club. The new manager, whoever it is, may want Odegaard or not. Let's be honest. I'm sure Odegaard is kind of fed up at Real Madrid. But let's be honest, if they blink at him and say, yo, you're going to play, he's going to do this thing. This was a platform. Let's be honest. Coming on loan to Arsenal was a relationship of convenience. We messed around, like it said here, in terms of bringing in some creativity. Arteta didn't fix it in the squad. He tried to buy us Lacazette, Willian to no thingy. He rubbed out Mesut Ozil. We needed someone in January. Smith Rowe's emergence finally came. So it was a relationship of convenience. He had a sort of opportunity to prove Real Madrid wrong and why he should be playing. We got creativity, and we can't lose sight of that. No matter how much he says he loves the club, and from the get-go he said he's comfortable, and how much Arteta has. There's no sell-on, there's no buy clause. So it is what it is, people. So again, and for me, if Real Madrid are rebuilding in some capacity, I don't see why Odegaard can't stay, personally. But moving away from that, it's gone on to say 274 of you hit the like button, people. Consequently, Arsenal have been forced to explore alternatives. The Athletic's David Ornstein has already reported on their interest in Norwich's Emilio Buendia. Arsenal have tracked the Argentine since he arrived in England in 2018 and have recommenced contact with his camp. Buendia offers the bonus of versatility, as he is comfortable operating in wide areas as well as behind the striker. He is, but he said himself, I like to play behind the striker. So that probably means he's going to play off that right exclusively. Personally, I see no reason as to why he can't become that Santi Cazorla deep lining playmaker. I think he's got the intelligence to do it. Sometimes you have to see a player for what they are, but you also have to see what they can become. And there's been many examples of players becoming different things. It's a fair assumption that this summer Arsenal will finally land a playmaker. Okay. Although there is huge confidence in the potential of Smith Rowe, who will be rewarded with a new contract, more depth and quality in that position is required. And yeah, at times you've had to play Smith Rowe like Saka, where they're clearly suffering, whether it's mentally, physically, or just little bits of losing form. It's quite disgraceful, but I don't want too much expectation on Smith Rowe. Just like anyone, City, completely different. But there is expectation, but there's no single expectation on one man to score goals. They've got a bag of guys, so it's a bit of a madness, people. Apparently, it's difficult to be as definitive about the remainder of Arsenal's business, as the decision not to sign a 10 last season shows there is a reluctance to fill a spot for the sake of it, particularly in a difficult economic environment. That said, a left back figures predominantly on their list. Kolasinac left for Schalke on loan in January, and the German club still intend to make overtures to the Bosnian despite their relegation. Arsenal investigated the possibility of adding backup for Kieran Tierney in January, only to decide to wait for the summer and a more flexible market. Crystal Palace's Tariq Mitchell and Hibernian's Josh Dog are among the names that have been watched, although neither is thought to be Arsenal's intended first choice. There is likely to be movement at right back too. Apologies, people. Having been convinced to stay last summer only to lose his regular first team place, Bellerin appears set to leave. Thankfully, goodbye, Bellerin. Ainsley Maitland-Niles, another one primed to go. Cedric fell out of favour towards the end of the season, but remains under a long-term contract, complicating a potential departure. Since his return from a cruciate ligament injury last season, Callum Chambers has emerged as an important part of Mikel Arteta's plans. Despite missing the first half of the 2020-21 season, he finished the campaign with 16 first-team appearances. So shout out to Callum Chambers for getting over his injury, for having the mentality, for being consistent. And I think he was low-key having a good season before he got injured a couple seasons ago, and he's had a good season now. Do I think he's first choice? No. Would I entertain offers for him? Potentially, if someone comes in with 20 mil. But Chambers would be somewhat a key part. When I say key, I don't think he'll be in the ideal world. I don't want Chambers in the starting lineup, but he'd be a key part of my squad. He would get game time because I can rely on him. Apparently, Tierney, Chambers, and Holding are regarded as good characters and positive influences within the group. I don't mind that because they're all quite young, and Chambers and Holding should be squad players at best. Tierney's a good player as well. Although Chambers' contract expires in 2022, the Athletic people, I can't lie, someone needs to pronounce that word. I'll skip that out, man. Can't say that, boy. I finished English, but I passed English, but that word there is too big for man, bro. Man said Austin Sibley, bro. That's a mad one. Anyways, it expires in 2021. The Athletic understands the club have an option of an additional year, which is yet to be exercised. Nevertheless, if Arsenal can move on some of their other right back options, a signing is likely. So for me, based on how it's cut, in an ideal world, I would like a proper right back and Maitland-Niles to be competing with that. And then you've got Chambers who can be used there, could play centre half, could be part of the squad. In an ideal world, you bring in a new right back and Cedric could do it. But obviously, this just for me makes the decision to give Cedric a new deal, a 4-year deal, absolutely scandalous, people. Because again, I hear talk of trying to move on Willian. The latest report I saw with Willian people is that we want 15 million. I don't know what we're doing, but it just makes operations 10 times harder. They've gone on to say, make sure you're hitting the like button, people. 300 odd of you locked in. The goalkeeping situation illustrates the uncertainty Arsenal face. They are looking for a number 2, which maybe that is Matt Ryan and that. Although there is some concern internally, they may also require number 1. Bert Leno is considering leaving. Bro, if he's considering leaving, that's it. I'm tired of hearing. Listen, I've got no problem with Xhaka, Bellerin, Leno, Laka, David Luiz, anyone saying they want to leave. As much as I like Arsenal Football Club, remove your emotion. They're allowed to say they want to leave. They're allowed to want to try new things. They're allowed to consider these things because of the age they're at and things. I don't mind it. But for me, it just gets the vibe that we're not pushing these guys to make decisions, or we're not being proactive. We're at Leno's mercy. We're at David Luiz's mercy. We're at Williams' mercy. This is the problem. If he's considering leaving, then that's that for me. If you have to consider leaving, then I have to consider your commitment. The minimum Arsenal need next season for those 38 Premier League games is consistency and commitment. Leno, you've been a decent keeper. I don't think you're quite my cup of tea. I think you're quite suspect. I think a better defense, we could move forward with you. But I also think on the flip side, if Arsenal addressed every area that I want, I'm looking at Leno, people. Good shot stopper, considering a bit shaky at everything else. If he's considering leaving, like with Bellerin, then for me, you don't make them central parts of the squad. They're not. Their minds are elsewhere. With every win, that means they're staying. With every sort of result that goes left, they're looking at the left and the rights and all of those sort of things. Apparently, that kind of upheaval would be unwelcomed in a window already full of upheaval. Well, we knew the window is going into. We know what we need to do in terms of incomings. We know what we need to do in terms of outgoings. We know where we're at. We knew this was a big summer. We knew it was one with tough decisions. We've heard these all season. He's considering leaving. So again, you should have targets. The club should be able to act in every way. If he said he's staying, cool, you're staying. If you're going, keep it moving. I'm not being funny. Not that Arsenal have any world-class players, but really and truly, you telling me you can't replace Leno? It's not like it's Manuel Neuer in his prime or Van der Sar. Come on now. You're telling me you can't replace Bellerin. You're telling me you can't replace David Luiz. You're telling me you can't replace Granit Xhaka if you let him go to Roma. And I mean, no disrespect to any of these players. This is a problem. If your name is not Messi, Mbappe, Ronaldo and them things there, bro, man shouldn't be hearing scaredness about replacing. I'm not going to sit here and name some goalkeepers because I don't know. But the club, all week, you should be looking at stuff. All season, you should be looking at keepers. Yeah, I would like an established name. But you telling me you can't scout a keeper from wherever, and find a decent keeper. So it is what it is. And you have to consider it. The man might want to leave. Keep it moving then. For now, the focus is on finding competition and cover for the German, as was the case last summer. Arsenal are determined to find a first choice goalkeeper who qualifies as homegrown. Well, you tried to get that Brentford done. It didn't work because Brentford said we're not selling him on the cheap. So you went and done nonsense. That is one of the main arguments against a permanent deal for Australian international Matt Ryan, who impressed during a loan spell from Brighton. So clearly, we have to look at our homegrown sort of stuff. Matt Macy's keeping it moving / kept it moving. I don't even remember at this point. We've got Arthur Okonkwo there, technically signing a new deal, apparently. Obviously, Reece Nelson, Eddie Nketiah, Joe Willock, Maitland-Niles, Chambers, Bellerin, who technically counts as them. It's all fun and games, entertaining or saying in theory, would we sell this guy or that guy? But we have to remember as well, they're homegrown. So this is why I don't think all of them are leaving, because excluding them, you'd have Saka, Smith Rowe, Holding. Who else would there be? The Scottish man count as homegrown? I don't know, people, but you get the point. We need to look after that. Arsenal's plans in this department are actually somewhat contingent on the result of the Championship playoff final. That match will see Brentford against Swansea, which is today, with two Arsenal targets in respective goals, David Raya and Freddie Woodman. Woodman's dad used to be a coach here before he recently left, so it could be something. There is an acceptance within Arsenal that whoever triumphs on the day may well be out of reach. I need to zoom in a bit, man. This is fucking up my eyes. We all know Raya is a long-term target for Arsenal, nominated by goalkeeping coach Inaki Kanya. Now, I've watched Raya a little bit at Brentford, and I think he's decent, but the last keeper my man recommended, it looked a bit shaky. I know he's got the YouTube account and that, but he looked a bit shaky, and there has been rumblings about Arsenal's concerns about the goalkeeping coaches. Maybe that's why there was rumours of a next one coming in. But anyways, the pair worked together in West London, and with Kanya's encouragement, Arsenal made multiple attempts to sign the Spanish goalkeeper last summer. In the end, he signed a new contract with Brentford, which contained a $1 million release clause. However, the release clause becomes invalid if Brentford are promoted. Woodman has enjoyed a great year at Swansea, completely true. That's right. And he's kept a championship high of 20 clean sheets in 45 games. Arsenal have tracked his progress for some time. If Swansea go up, they will almost certainly pursue a permanent deal. And for me, it wouldn't make sense for Woodman. Yeah, we're a bigger club than Swansea and all of that. But I mean, you're playing first team football. You're going to sit on the bench at Arsenal. What's the point? That may appeal to Woodman. The Swansea goalkeeping coach, Martin Megetson, holds the same position with the England national team. The family tie that once linked Woodman to Arsenal is no longer in place. His father, Andy, was released from his role as Arsenal head of academy goalkeepers in March. That situation has led to Arsenal exploring other options. Arsenal's preference is to go for a young, developing goalie rather than experienced backup. At centre-back, much will depend on Arteta's assessment of Saliba. I think we need a centre-half regardless of Saliba, because watching him at Nice, he's had a great season, but there is a lot of deficiencies in his game. And, we've only got 38 games, but him and Gabriel, there's a lot to iron them out. I want that to be the partnership, but could we, when they're going through losses of form, pull one out and partner them with an experienced man? Like, I'm not saying David Luiz, but a David Luiz type figure. That's what I think both need for me, because they're going to have great games where they're leaders. But if you see some of the goals Nice concede and some of the goals Arsenal concede, them two young men together, it's going to get calam at times. But they both got potential. And my problem is not to criticize them. We can't talk about in the future Saliba being a France international, Gabriel doing the same for Brazil, without expecting them to go through hardships. If you make clothes and whatnot, I'd imagine, a couple of times the needle's gone through your hand or whatever. If you're a builder and you're good at your craft and whatever, I'd imagine sometimes you've collapsed yourself. So it's an occupational hazard. Centre half, you're going to get ripped. You're going to switch off. You're going to get caught flat-footed. You're going to play stupid passes. They're going to go through great moments of form and shocking moments of form. I just don't want people to put too much expectation on this young, what would be 20-year-old, because again, to get to where we see him tomorrow, he's got to go through the tough things. And a bit of that can be said about Balogun as well for me. After a loan spell with Nice, the Frenchman is scheduled to join up with Arsenal's squad for training this summer. It is only after being watched at close hand that Arteta will decide whether he will form part of his squad next season. Bro, fuck what Arteta says, because he plays dickheads, man. Pardon me. Until then, Arsenal will continue to monitor this market for centre-backs. As reported by Ornstein, the club's The club covert Seville's Jules Koundé, but there's a substantial stumbling block, namely the player's 50 million price tag and preference for Champions League football. So that means he probably goes United, where he's been linked with, or somebody else. He's been linked with Madrid. I was telling me, while we sat here on my channel, I was saying, well, we should have been grabbing this guy at Bordeaux, same way we should have grabbed him. And what's the one that went Monaco? I can't say his name, Truchamani or something, the centre mid. Them man were there. You got to move quickly, you know. I would love Koundé, but again, he said I'm leaving, basically. He said it's almost certain I'll take the next step, but we'll have to see what happens, people. We've been linked with Burkina Faso international Edmund Tapsoba. We've seen him play against us for Victoria, and he's doing all right at Leverkusen, but apparently they want a madness for him. So again, that 22-year-old centre-back's probably not going to be it. Moving on. We already know Dani Ceballos has gone back to Real Madrid. Apparently, Granit Xhaka is closing in on a move to Roma, so we should see something. Apparently, Basuma and Sander Berge are among the names under consideration at Arsenal. Sheffield United's relegation has seen Berge's release clause decrease, but not substantially. He would still cost a significant amount. Odegaard and Berge are good friends and met up several times during the former's spell in England. It is not beyond the realms of possibility that both Norwegians could be at Arsenal next season. Hopefully, and when you see Basuma allegedly with an Arsenal shirt and things, I hope Pepe's been doing his job. Apparently, intriguingly, when Arsenal enlisted recruitment firm Nolan Partners to hire their new scouting team, one of the exercises set during the application process was the assessment of Berge. These new scouts will not arrive in time to have an impact on the transfer window's business. These plans have been drawn up by Edu's existing team: Ben Napier, the lone gaffer; Jason Atto, scouting coordinator; Tolly Corborn, analytics strategy, and Mark Curtis, people. They now form part of the club's football intelligence team. Boy, good name. Pull it out. And we all know Richard Garlick has come. Remarkably, the list of potential incoming business does not end there. The club are also mindful of the contractual situation they face at centre-back. The deals of both Eddie Nketiah and Alexandre Lacazette are set to expire next season. If there is movement, they will consider targeting a number 9, although the presence of Gabriel and Balogun, two highly rated prospects, complicates matters. And again, it's all fun and games having Saliba, Gabriel, and Balogun, but you need a manager who's brave enough to play them and understands how to develop them. Time will tell if Arteta's that guy. All in all, it stands to be whatever summer at Arsenal. Edu and Arteta have their plan, but turning that into reality will be fought with difficulty. The likelihood is that Arsenal will not be able to land all their intended targets. As we know, the degree to which they're able to prioritize and manage their budget will determine their success. And like I said, minimum, I need a centre-back, couple of midfielders and a right back. Everything else is all circumstantial. So we'll have to see, people, you know. It is what it is in that regards firmly. So yeah, that's that for the Athletics comments in relation to what we may or may not do in the transfer market. People, please make sure you're hitting the like button. That's that. Moving away from that, DG, does this sound like the same message 2 years ago, just with different linked names? Yeah, but I mean, as an Arsenal fan, everything sounds the same, 100%, man. Josh has said, morning, my brother. Hope you've been ace, dog. Sweet for Sterling and Mahrez. This got to be football manager, 100%, man. This is it as well. Any player says he's thinking about leaving, he's already left in his mind, man. He's already left in his mind, bro. And that's a myth. It's an absolute myth. So fuck all of that, man. It's an absolute joke, man. We'll have to see, though, man. I hear talk about planning. Make sure the plan comes into action, because you know you can't really afford to get this wrong. So let's see what happens, man. But I'm not gonna hold my breath, man. If that makes sense, man. Not gonna hold my breath. And you get what you pay for, man. I just hope the club don't cut corners. I'm not asking for big names. I'm just asking for players that are proper signings, like they're serious players, you know. Because when you buy cheap, you buy several times over. With all due respect to Luis, because he's been a decent signing, but Luis, Cedric, people of that ilk, you get what you get what you pay for. You can't complain. Right. Chelsea, you know, if your mate is missing 3 fingers, I suggest you go take them A&E, man. That's a bit big still. The Martinez thing, I think Martinez only left because it was made abundantly clear that to Leno, he's number 1. I think if it was a thing where they said, you know, you lot are battling, if you win, you know, whoever's, it's, you know, right now, Martinez, it's your spot to drop. that sort of stuff there, I think he would have stayed. Because why would you fight for how, you know, Martinez loves telling us how he fought for so long to get the number one. Why would you give it up if you got a hand on it? So I think the club has doubled down on Leno only for Leno to snake them. And that's nothing to do with Leno. Leno don't owe the club nothing. You know, Leno's not an Arsenal fan. It's a relationship of convenience. They needed a keeper. They brought one, you know. Leno didn't grow up an Arsenal fan. He owes Arsenal nothing. Same way Arsenal owe these players nothing. This is why I don't understand why we double down on man. And there's got to be something wrong because we've doubled down on Leno. We're hearing he wants to bust out. Xhaka wants to bust out. Bellerin wants to bust out. Even Mustafi. Bro, we're playing man in the Europa League where other man could have got that. He's still captaining the team. There was even talk of a new deal and then his contract's getting terminated. So did, you know, maybe I think Mustafi said, F that, I want to leave sort of thing. You never get the vibe that we tried to move players on. So we'll have to see, man. It's an absolute mazza, really and truly, when you look at it like that. I just don't want talk. Like I said, I'm prepared to not shut up, but shut up somewhat. But come September, if some of the business, the bulk of the business that I need to be done, the spine, then you can forget it, man. You can forget about doing anything. But I've seen Chesney to Chelsea shouts today. I ain't seen nothing to do with Arsenal, but it is what it is. In that regards, man. It's a bit mad, man. I don't think, bro. It's not even if Leno wants competition. Let's be fair, man. Every keeper has to adjust. Has to take it. I think where it's come is Arsenal. They've doubled down on Leno and made it comfortable for Leno. And Leno's like, I like it here. Me and my girlfriend have liked being in London, but maybe let's try a bit of Italy. Let's try Spain. Yeah, let's go sit on the bench back in Germany at Madrid. I mean, at Bayern Munich or something. Could be dead, man. The club does look at things with rose tints, man. I don't know who are realistic signings for Arsenal, man. I don't know who are realistic signings for Arsenal at all, man. I can't lie to you. Like, anything we see is possible. You know, I would love to sit here and say, oh, that men there are realistic, but we all know the people behind me. We haven't got a snowball's opportunity at getting them people, and absolute snowballs. Where are we at in terms of likes, people? At 233. Let's keep moving towards 300 at least. There's 350 of you locked in, and a couple of you are doing me dirty, people. What's all that about? I thought we was pals and that. But we haven't quite been linked with Saint-Maximin, people, but we have. And I'm sure a lot of people wouldn't mind it. Why I would say no to Saint-Maximin is the end product. I think the end product is the same. It's a bit like Adama Traore is that there and Gerard Delafeu. Your end product is the only reason you're not at big clubs or doing big things. You know, I like Saint-Maximin. He's a skillers. He can rip, man. He's on everything. I think, like I said, if you could just coach the end product there, you've got a terrific player. But you're probably going to have to pay through the nose to Newcastle for him. And I don't think it's worth it, admittedly. But anyways, Arsenal, Man United and clubs tipped to sign Allan Saint-Maximin if he leaves Newcastle. We all know Steve Bruce has said hands off. Terrific player, but it's just about being consistent, people. It's all about the consistency. And at 24, there's still something there. Let me scroll down, people, because is there anything that's relevant, man? Apparently, these rumors. Well, let's see. Let's go, man, because there's nothing actually here, people. Apparently, it just talks about the fact that Newcastle haven't done the best. You know, Newcastle finished 12th place, but a dismal mid-season run plunged the Magpies into a tense relegation battle. Saint-Maximin has laid out his expectations for the club going forward, warning he does not want to be involved in another scrap for survival and hopes United will do everything to push for a top 10 finish. So again, all he wants is a better push and he'll be cool with that. And he signed a 6-year deal. So again, there's not much he can do. You know, 6-year deal, you can stump your feet, but 6-year deal, they don't want to sell him. They're in a very strong negotiating position. You know, from when Newcastle tie down their players better than your club, you know you're doing a mazza. So long story short, that has led to intensified reports. And apparently Bruce has suggested he's working with a limited budget, which could obviously complicate things if Joe Willett wants to return there and things like that. As we know, Saint-Maximin's contract means Newcastle are unlikely to feel any pressure to sell. And it's not like he's set the world alight to want to buy him. And I'm sure all the clubs that could consider have other priorities. Apparently Sky Bet's transfer market has listed 7 possible clubs. And I assume, you know, apparently it's considered Arsenal to be the most likeliest destination this summer. And it's from PSG, Bayern Munich, Liverpool, Dortmund and Man United up there. So again, maybe Dortmund is with Sancho there. So there's no substance to anything being said there. We all know Zaha wants to leave Palace, but I think that boat, everybody would agree, that boat there is gone now. So it is what it is in that regards, man. Not how you spell his name, but we'll deal with that later, people. Is there anything else? Spoke about that. We know we're getting the new stuff. Right, they're getting rid of away goals allegedly. That would be good. That would be good for us, wouldn't it? So yeah, man, what are you lot saying? As fans of this club, we always dread transfer windows, but this one I genuinely expect nothing typically of the Kroenkes. Bro, I've got no expectations, bro. If we sign someone, we sign someone. I can sit here and I keep saying it. I want this, that, and the other, but I don't expect it because this club ain't moving how they're supposed to move. So how can I have expectations if you're not handling yourself in a proper way, man? It's a bit mad, man. Bro, you're right, Kay. We need to improve how we sell players, man. If we're meant to be self-financing, it's mad. I'm always on buying wingers if they're better than what we have. Defo, Omar, you're capping. He's defo not ish, but it's not happening. It's not. It's just rumors, man. I don't know, Nathan. There's a couple of players that I think are good, but I don't know. That's just me personally. I think Guendouzi's a good player, but his Arsenal career is numbered, didn't it? Like, it's just another storyline that we need to move from. As much as I want him to stay, there's bare man with storylines at Arsenal. So if he's going to go to Olympiacos, a man said Olympiacos, if he's going to go to Olympique Marseille, it is what it is, isn't it? Like, rightly or wrongly, I'm tired of it. The Torreiras, the Guendouzis, previously the Ozils. Anyone with a storyline at Arsenal is boring me now. I just want to deal with, we're not in the top four. We're not in Europe. Can we move faster towards that and just have 11 players, a squad of 25 that want to do such, man? I'm tired of guys that really shouldn't even be linked with moves away. Like, really and truly, bro, when I'm hearing Bellerin, Leno, Willian, Xhaka, let's be real, bro. It's an effing liberty, really and truly, that these guys have the, kind of act like they're doing Arsenal a favour being there. But it is what it is. This is where we didn't sleepwalk and get here overnight. So we're not going to get out of it overnight, man. So all of them can keep it moving, man. My thoughts on Arteta, lot to like about him, a lot to frustrate me about him. I think he's cut a lot of excuses where there is none. And I think the stuff that he shouldn't be blamed for, when he should get excuses, he's hung out to dry. A lot of good, very frustrating. Like I said, if he's going to stay, I'm not going to cry. If he was sacked tomorrow, I'm not going to feel sorry for him, really and truly. If Aubameyang's got till Christmas, and that doesn't mean you can't score until Christmas, but he's got till Christmas, man. He's got till Christmas. How do you think the final will pan out? I hope it means a Manchester City win, really. I don't want to see Chelsea win it twice, but it probably will, man. I think you will see a better player at out of party if he had a better partner, of course. Of course, my guy, man. Bro, this is it, bro. The minimum is just back to basics. Like you said, that's the best way to put it. Just back to basics, man. Like, I don't have to question your motivation. The road Arsenal have to go on and how far it is, and that we're not going to get there overnight. We're not going to probably get there in a season, but you're prepared so that, obviously, I'm a fan. I'm not looking at what you lot are doing London Coley at 9 a.m. I only see what you're doing on the weekend. But I have faith that in them times, you're putting in the work. Because, again, they can tell us you're putting in the work. The good thing about football, you can lie to people all the time. Some of the time, sorry. When you see us going on these wins and people are not shutting up about things. But sooner or later, that luck runs out and the wool gets pulled. And when you have results like Villarreal or how the season's panned out or the nonsense with tactics, you see where everything is, man. I think the target has to be becoming a top 4 club again and consistently challenging for the top 4 and having consistency. Then beyond that, the target should be winning the Champions League and the league and all of those things 100%, man. Man said DG to Arsenal. Donovan Miller has said Aarons or Lamptey, Aouar, Samora and Basuma or Camavinga. Lamptey's more my sort of guy. Aouar and Samora are a bit different, but I'll go for Aouar and Basuma or Camavinga. Again, 2 different players, but Camavinga, if that makes sense, man. But yeah, man, good questions. Keep the questions coming, people. Please make sure you're hitting the like button. out to you lot, man. Shout out to you lot. Appreciate that. Like I said, information's in the live chat, information's in the description. Big up yourself, Danny. Ryan Cherky's gonna be a great player. You know, he's loading. He had a decent season for Lyon. He's loading. He's gonna be a bad boy footballer, man. If he isn't already, man. It just hurts more to think we bottled the Europa League now. It hurts me of everything. It just hurts me to have no real faith in my team that. Because the minimum I want, anyways, is that any match we're playing, I know we're going to stand up to be counted. If a team beats us, then the better men have won in it. What can you say? But too often than not, it's not that. And it's nothing to do with discrediting the opposition. Way before you talk about, like, we've played Liverpool, for instance, yeah, right? If they were to beat us, I have no problem losing, as much as I hate losing. But I sit there and go, cool. For effing hell, man. Salah's great. This guy's good. That guy's good. But and City the same. City's a better example. We played City and they haven't had to show you why them players are best in the league, why they're doing what they're doing now. We've given them their goals, or we've done some foolishness, or some variables that we can control. We've effed it up. So that's my problem. Until I can, in short, have faith that whatever 11's out there, there's a certain consistency for a period, I can't dream about many things. But I hear you and I sympathize with you, man. I really do, man. You happy that Xhaka's going to leave? I wouldn't say happy. I'm happy that it forces the club to sign an upgrading act, but I don't think Xhaka's as bad as people make out. There's a couple. I'll be happy if Bellerin leaves, if that makes sense, because I don't think he's good enough. I don't think Xhaka is good enough. But either way, I'm not. I mean, Xhaka's a squad player at best for me, but I wouldn't say happy. I'll be happy when I see a right back. I'll be happy when I see a centre half. Happy when I bring in a midfielder. It just forces them to do something. Bro, this is it. Lose with some pride, bro. It's like, man, just turn up and say, oh, City are great players, man. And then they start twanging themselves. And because they're scared, they start making mistakes. You know, when you've seen City, bro, City, look at Leeds. Leeds are a promoted side with respect. They've done a drilling on City this season. And there's been hella drillings on City. Obviously, you're not going to see Villa beat Liverpool 7-2 and there was injuries. But the mentality, them and there went out to cause a madness. Chelsea the same. Bit harsh on Bellerin. I actually admire Bellerin's, the fact that Bellerin does other things away from football, because I think mentally that can help you and it sets you up. I only care about Bellerin's footballing ability, and I just think you're mediocre, man. How do you scout players these days? You have a decent bit of knowledge on any rumoured targets. I just watch football, my guy. Well, I'll clue myself up. Literally just watch football. It's not no rocket science. Just watch football. I like to watch players when, for me, I learn a lot about a player away from home. I'm not going to learn a lot about a player scoring 100 goals. I'm going to learn a lot. If that's a striker and he scored a hat-trick, I'm going to learn a lot in... I like to see players at their worst, if that makes sense. Because that's where I really see you, if that makes sense. Is this Mahrez Sterling thing true? Bro, V, you're smart enough to answer that question, man. You know we ain't getting them, man, there, man. From media is capping very hard. We're signing a bag of players, though. Could you imagine Mahrez, Odegaard... Odegaard in the 10, Sterling and Mahrez on either flank. I'm sure there's a couple other unrealistic signings we spoke about this week as well, man. Grealish, Grealish behind them. Bro, Arsenal might be spending 500 M's, bro. We're doing a mad thing. Villa, Wolves, Everton killed our career again, and our season. We handed them points to them teams there. And there's way more of examples, man, that you said, but you're right, man. Bro, enough chances to sign bare, man. Enough chances to sign bare players, man. 6 points off 11th as well. So, yeah, it shows you what could be done if we had some effort, but it just shows you that this club isn't consistent enough, man. I know a lot of people don't want Sander Berge. I don't mind him personally. Have you seen our options? But I wouldn't be convinced on some of the partnerships we could go with, man. Bro, you could use that as well, bro. I don't trust these windows because we're going to end up with a next Willian. Like, the next Willian out there. What pensioners are there around the world, man? This is it for me. No impact, man. There's no impact. You're conflicted about Willock. I mean, we can't blame just VAR, but it did do us dirty. Every option's available for Willock. For me, he could go back out on loan. He could leave permanently. Or for me, ideally, I'd want him to be part of the squad. But if we need to finance moves, who better than a player that's playing in form? Even though I don't want to sell him. 100%, man. So I could have signed everyone. Mahrez, Kante, Bear man could have been signed, man. But again, every club misses out on signing, some more than others, though, like us. So madness. Shout out the Twitch gang as well. Don't think I've forgotten you guys, man. I love you guys. Mahrez would be sick at Chelsea. He could probably sell Ziyech or one of them, man. There really. So we'll have to see, man. So madness. Just unfortunately, Arsenal are not involved in any of these mad shouts for mad signings and things like that. We're at 278. People keep hitting that like button. People, we must can get further up, man. We're just linked with the same old recycled players, man. We're linked with Coutinho again. Like, it's boring, man. Hakem Calhanoglu, can't pronounce his name, but we're linked with him again. We're just linked with the same old man. Pardon me. Apart from Mahrez and Sterling, the first time I've seen them add a bit of spice to these nonsense rumors. It's normally the same old man. Oh, you can never think I'm capping. I don't cap to you lot. Don't do capping. Speak to them other YouTubers about capping, man. I'm a humble guy. If I tell you, man, I done something, man, I done something. If I tell you, man, scored a banger, man, scored a banger. You know what? Let's reload that, because that's the only thing that probably went right.
Against this right back, Charlie's definitely.
Celebration settings. You're mad. Come on. Anyways, about capping. I had to. Shameless. It is so good. I have to look at it all the time. Aya said, DG, where in your opinion is the priority position we need to buy? For me, centre mid. But I would say right back, you know, because again, I don't really rate the midfielders and there's speculation over every of them. But right back, man, there's too many man playing. Both this season, there's been Cedric, Chambers, Maitland-Niles, Bellerin. Probably missing out an X-Man. It's too much going on for a position at right back. You see how Tierney came in? We're only talking about left back for a backup and if he's injured. That's what we need. I would say right back, because maybe then in theory, at least, even though I want another centre half, you would have Tierney. You would have, at this moment in time, Leno, Gabriel and Saliba. Obviously, if this right back comes in, you've got a first choice back 4/5. But at this, so I would say right back, but at the same time, midfield, man, I can't take the midfield of Arsenal because we don't score goals. We're not mad defensive. We can't dictate the tempo of the game. Like our midfield, I don't know what it is. We're not good excelling at anything, you know. So I'd say midfield, the spine of the team, man. Once again, the spine, really. I would just say the spine, man. That's just me, anyways, man. That's my opinion. Right back, left back. Unfortunately, shoehorned that left back. Can't need to get out of that, but I'll play anywhere for the team, man. Goal of the season. Well, Partey soon score his banger, man. This is it, gear, man. If the target, that's it. You know, you reach for the moon, you might end up where the stars are, man. Do you think Obo will get demotivated from the lack of service from an attacking side? Probably, bro. Arsenal should sign DG. Oh, he never defends. He never gets back. When you listen, I'm on this Bruno Fernandes thing in the 10, boy. I'm not on this. Well, I can pass the ball, but I'm on this trying to score thing, boy. When you lot say, oh, he's not playing well when he's not scoring. The fitness levels, obviously, I'll take a little low contract, little bonuses, flavors. Yeah, you know, a little 20 minutes. It could be cool, man. It could be cool, man. I'll get Lamptey. Just the issue is his injuries. Right back is the toughest position. I hear that. Your teammate there talking all week about his assist. DG wouldn't have scored that banger. Nah, hey, listen, Charlie's a bad boy. That's my striker. You know how much? Listen, that he's done more than that in it. Charlie's a bad boy striker. He's a rattler. He works his socks off. I love playing with Charlie, man. And obviously, when you're playing wing back and your striker actually wins it and gets the knockdown and can see when you've made a run and clip it in behind, it's a madness, man. Charlie's 30 still, man. Have Arsenal given up on Dominic Szoboszlai? Well, maybe we still hold an interest, but he went to a next club, so it's a bit of a madness. It's gone for us, isn't it, man? Wouldn't mind Hakimi or Aaron's. Probably more chance of Aaron's. It looks like Hakimi might be going PSG. Puskas Award incoming. You're killing me. Bro, them things there, bro, man, you know, you can sort man out on a little thing, you know, the thing there. But CS has said the squad does need to be trimmed and there's a lack of quality. I do not trust Edu to adequately assess and find players. I hear you, because I haven't seen anything. Like, my trust isn't just blindlessly given. So CS, I hear that. All I can say to you, and it's not a help, Hope they can prove us wrong, innit? Like we said earlier, they had a plan weeks ago. Edu and Arteta have submitted their plans to the board. So that tells me in the previous months, regardless what was going on, you was assessing what you're going to do. So maybe something might be done. But again, I don't even half believe that myself. But that's all I can say to you, my dude, man. You know, probably would. You know, Mahrez, you know, fair enough, you're like us and not in the Champions League. But there's more better things going on at Leicester. You got a chairman and everyone else who bloody cares. I don't think he goes back to you. I definitely don't think he signs for Arsenal. He needs to keep going to the bigger boy things, but it is what it is, man. It's a bit of a madness, man. I mean, I haven't seen any Emerson Royal links anymore. It looks like he's going back to Barca. I don't know if Barca are going to sell him, buy him back and then sell him on. I don't know their plans, but I've seen it. To me, it looks like them ones there went quiet, personally. I think it was clickbait, that Raheem Sterling BS Gabby. I mean, I think Leicester need a bit of fullback cover. Bertrand could be decent. You know, James Justice still to get fit. You've got Luke Thomas and who's the other left back, man? There's Luke Thomas and there's a next one. Fuchs is leaving, in it, so it makes sense. Obviously, I'm pretty sure he's crossed paths with Brendan Rodgers at Chelsea before. So yeah, man, calm signing, really and truly. I didn't really want him, so I'm kind of happy that Arsenal got rejected or whatever could have happened in that regards, man. Who do you replace Xhaka with? I don't know, my guy, man. But someone who can pass the ball. If a pass can be done in 2 touches, do it in 2 touches, maybe even in 1. We've got too many players who need 5 touches to do things that could be done in 2. Sometimes it can go straight over to the right back. It's having to go through a midfielder and a defender. You know, people who just do things in less touches. Someone who can do what Xhaka does to a better standard and with less of the cons to his game, you know, the lapses in concentration, the lack of mobility and the rest of it. We're at 294 in terms of likes. Please make sure you keep running that one there up, people. I'm very appreciative of that, man. Ozan Kabach, I think Leicester should allow that one, man. He's decent, but I think they should allow that. Can't lie, man. I think they should allow that still. Of course he could. The Napoli brother, of course I like Zielinski. But like Benzema said, hit up the like button, man. Hit up the like button. DG with the facts. Appreciate that, my guy, man. Would you take this swap deal, Xhaka for Kevin De Bruyne and Pep Guardiola? I mean, if that would, of course. You know, of course. Why not? The gaffer, the main one. Who wouldn't, man? Raw DG, you need to teach Party how to shoot from outside the box. Bro, everybody sees the ones you score, not the ones you miss. You know how much times I've licked off the crossbar and all of those sort of things? Maybe I should just never take a touch, man. But all I'd say to Party, keep going in it. Keep going, keep going. But hey, Party, if you're listening, you know, obviously I'm not rich like you, but if you want one-to-one sessions, shout me, innit? What's Party's weekly wages? Because for them sessions there, I'm going to need about 4 bags an hour. That's probably like £4 to him, innit? And that would do a lot for me, you know. Werner, Aubameyang, William, you know, come link me in North London. We'll go park and do some finishing practice. You know, my thing, 2 and 2. I'm never going to stop saying that until I stop scoring. Like 2 and 2 for a left back, it sounds wavy. Imagine if I was in you man's FPL teams. You know what points I would have been bagging for you lot. Are you mad? Oh, it's so bad though. You lot kill me, man. Well, they should be watching City and them teams there themselves, because for me, I always look at people that are the benchmarks. Like in YouTube, obviously I'm not saying follow people, but you look at what people do and you look at, you know, that's where you want to be. So how do I get there, sort of thing? So I don't think Arteta should sit them down. Them and there should be looking at the Liverpools historically, the Cities historically, all these guys having ambition and saying, yo, maybe we could do that. Maybe I could do that and things like that. But it is what it is, man. A man said a night deal. Hey, a night deal for the Creps. They could give me some 110s, some TNs, some 95s. Why not, man? I'll do a lot for a night deal still. Nothing for Buki, though. 307 likes with 347 people watching. Keep pushing the like button. I appreciate the get backs, man. Would you take Jerome Boateng? No, because we would suddenly, you know, you're going to sign a past it player and you're not going to hide his deficiencies. What kind of signings make you confident for next season? Name them, bro. I don't know for names, but if you bring me a right back and 2 centre mids and a centre half, we can talk, man. I could sit here until I'm blue in the face and talk about the names Arsenal have been linked with and stuff, but it's dead. It's boring. Just bring me competent, consistent, and confident people in all of those roles. You know, everybody makes mistakes, but the best players minimize those bad games, minimize those mistakes. The worst players make one mistake and then make several. For me, it's all about the mentality, because I've seen it. Certain players make a mistake, they keep going. Certain men make a mistake, start feeling upset for themselves, and then keep making more and more and more and more and more and more. But it is what it is, man, in that regards, man. We need Basuma's tackles 100%, man, 100%. I can't lie, though, people. We've been here for an hour and 19 minutes. I've got to go run to the shops. Well, specifically, I've got to go Sainsbury's and Asda and that, people. So, yeah, I've got to do my grocery shopping. And obviously, I need to get some lunch. So, yeah, I'm going to be back again later today, people. It's Champions League settings. I'll be back again on Monday as well. We'll do player of the season and, well, Arsenal's player of the season and all of that sort of stuff. Review the season properly on Monday. So make sure you're at that live stream. There's no thumbnail sorted out for that yet. But this is for the Champions League. If you give me a second, people, let me actually, because I know some of you are riders, man. I really appreciate some, because some of you'll see no thumbnail. And you'll still hit the like button and the reminders, and that some of you are scatty and that and say, oh, we ain't even done none of that. So I really respect you lot. So I've dropped the link in there as well, people. Both links, really. So that's them ones there for you. So yeah, man, I appreciate that, my guy, man. I appreciate it. Smash the like button on the way out. So yeah, man. A man said, yeah, but I'm gonna get some sweets and that for the final. But yeah, I need to do my shopping. I actually need to buy some more fruit, or there's gonna be no more smoothies, people. So yeah, man. Yeah, I got to do that, innit? So it is what it is. I've already talked about Maximin, my brother. The good thing is MR. You can reverse this thing. But on that note, I'm out, man. A man said, get him a cabbage. Peter, come on, man. He killed me. But on that note, it is what it is, man. You know. Love for that, Gabby. Gabby, I don't know who you're sticking it on, but I appreciate that. You know, shout out to my supporters. Sometimes you lot go hard for the guy, man. I appreciate all the members, subscribers, viewers. Whenever you've come along across my thing, I appreciate it. You know, you lot have been with me for an hour and 21 minutes. You lot are here almost every day, so I can't not be appreciative of that. So, yeah, man, big up yourselves. Please make sure you hit the like button on the way out, and I'll catch you lot again in a couple hours. God bless you all, man. Hope you all have had a good week. Hope you all have a better weekend. Obviously, I know I got a lot of Chelsea fans there and whatnot, but I hope you lot lose today. City, you know, if there is, even though I don't believe this, but if there is a glimmer of hope of signing Raheem, Sterling and Mahrez, please allow us. But on that note, I'm out though, man. Peace. Oh, let me not do you dirty, man. I wouldn't mind Pellegrini swap deal with Xhaka. Or what's the other Donny, man? I wouldn't mind that. Is it Villa or something? Some young Spanish brother. There's him. What's the one that always gets injured? Zanolio, bro. There's some guys they could run to us, but they would be stupid to do such. But I didn't want to leave you hanging. But on that note, I'm busting out, people. I'll see you lot later.